Hello and welcome to A Cat in the Garden. It is a little bit of a gray day here in Texas, but you know what? We're just gonna get through this. We're gonna do this anyway. I don't really mind the gray weather, but this is still the best lighting room in my house. So we're just gonna deal with it and we're gonna have a good time. So I can't believe the month of November is over already. Honestly, I feel like this whole year has really just flown by and it's the end of the month. So we're going to do some of my favorite houseplants for the month of November. And this time I really made a point of picking out plants that I have never done before. I think there might be one plant in this entire group that might have been on my favorites list before. And then there is a plant that I have not put on my favorites list before that you would have seen right here, but I took it away for this video. We'll probably get to that one a little bit later, but I might actually be able to do a couple of these while holding nutmeg. Like I said, I don't have like anywhere for nutmeg to sit with this setup, but we'll see how well he does in my lap while I show you these plants. And just a warning, there's a bunch of Hoyas on this one, but like, what else do you expect? I love Hoyas. So we're gonna get to it. The first one is going to be one that I've had for a little while, but it's been actively growing recently and I'm just loving it to pieces. And that is going to be my Hoya Bella outer variegated. And this is one of the very few, like maybe one of two thin leaf Hoyas in my collection. I generally stay away from them because they're very thirsty and I'm very bad at watering my plants. You're supposed to kind of, as a general rule, water your houseplants every 10 to 14 days. I usually water them every 14 to 21 days because I'm just really bad at it, but I'm trying to get better about it. I'm trying to get more on a schedule for watering them. It's going a little better. I think we're kind of around the 14-day mark right now, but this one doesn't seem to mind the neglect. It does very well with me. It does get a little wrinkly when I underwater it, but it perks right back up after I give it some water. I bought it in this tiny little kind of propagation container. I did have to propagate it when I first bought it because when I bought it, I broke a branch kind of. It was like bent, but not broken. And I just wanted to make sure it would be okay. So I completely cut off that branch and propagated it. It is rooted now, so I will probably put it back in the pot with this, maybe when I repot it, kind of get it out of soil and into something I like better. But yeah, it just does really well. I don't know if you can see very well with this lighting, but the outer edge of the leaf is kind of sun-stressing pink where the white is, and I'm loving that. I think that is super cute. But either way, this has been a really nice, fun plant to have in my collection, and I just love how little it is. I love how I can have it trailing. Hoyas like this and many of the lacunosas don't really vine out too much, so it's a really nice plant to just have trailing in a nice pot. I don't have to worry about leaf size getting smaller like I do with philodendrons. So all in all, 10 out of 10 plant, and that's why it's one of my favorites. The next plant is a Hoya that I have had for a little while, but I have not really shown it off yet because it hasn't grown until recently. And now that it's growing, it looks super cute. So we're gonna go ahead and show it off, and that is going to be my Hoya Weymannii Borneo. Do you like this one? Oh, I think Nutmeg likes this one. So it kind of came as this plant that was trailing down, kind of a long vine, rooted cutting basically, and it didn't do anything. I bought it in June. It's been 5 months. Probably about a week or two ago, I noticed that it had some new leaves, and those are these two babies right here. The lighting is absolutely not doing this any justice at all, but the leaves come in a dark purple. I guess you can kind of see it. These are hardening off now. They do harden off to this green color that you'll see on the rest of the vine. but I just think it's so cute. It is like the slightest bit fuzzy, which also is amazing. I am always down for a fuzzy Hoya. And it's just got this really cool wavy leaf shape. And yeah, I love it. That's why I bought it. I did hear from a friend of mine, back when I originally put this on my wish list, I heard that they don't ship well. So I waited. I could have bought this several times online, but I waited until I found one in person. I actually got it from a local San Antonio business, E&E Plants. You would have seen me unbox plants from them before here on the channel, but I saw them in person and I got this plant. So I definitely recommend getting this in person, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's great. I mean, you could try your hands at getting it shipped to you as well. I would probably say, since I did hear warnings about it not shipping well, maybe get it in the spring or fall when the weather is nicer, just to give yourself the best chances with it. But it's totally worth it. And it's kind of an uncommon Hoya. I don't really see it around very much, so it's just a nice little unique plant to add to your collection. Moving away from Hoya, I'm going to show y'all the plant that normally sits right there. I don't know if you know what it is. It's kind of unassuming when you see it from a distance, but this is my Philodendron subhastatum. And if you kind of saw when I was picking it up, it is known for these gorgeous red backs on the leaves. This is what a hardened off leaf will look like. This one, the color is still coming in because it's the new leaf. And it is leaning a little bit, sort of the directionality of the leaves. And that's because of the way it kind of faces when it sits up there. But I have recently put it up on this moss pole, and as you can see, the leaf sizes are getting bigger. It has put out these two top leaves here since it's been put on the pole. I don't think it has attached itself quite yet from what I can tell, but I'm just happy that it is sizing up. This is the first upright philodendron that I have ever put on a pole. I've been meaning to do this for quite some time, given all of the issues that I've had with Silver Sword, Pink Princess, and all of those upright philodendrons. But this was a trade that I made with my friend Jessica, probably a year ago now. And she gave it to me as a little baby top cut. If you can see here, the stem is so much smaller down here where the original nodes were, and it is just sized up so beautifully. I kept it in this little 3-inch pot for the longest time, and then I finally upgraded it to this self-watering pot here and gave it a nice moss pole. So I think it's gonna be very happy based on what I've seen going on with the new growth. I think it is enjoying the extra water that it gets here from the moss pole, enjoying something to have support to root into, and I'm really hoping by this time next year, I'll just have these big, beautiful, giant leaves. I have seen a mature subhastatum once, well, on FaceTime. When my husband first went to Hawaii, he FaceTimed me from a nursery, and they had a really big mature subhastatum. And ever since, I've really wanted to get this one to be really mature, and I think this is the solution. And I also think I should probably put my other upright philodendrons on moss poles. I think they could benefit from it a lot. And yeah, I just love this plant so much. It reminds me of my friend Jessica, which is great because she is such a sweetheart, and it's just a great plant all around. So that's why it's one of my favorites this month. Okay, now that that plant is back where it belongs, the next plant of my 5 favorite plants is going to be one of the plants from the Texas Air Raid show, but like, how could I not? I just got them and I absolutely love all of them, but I decided to pick the one that has been on my wish list for the longest, and that is the Hoya lacanosa mint coin. I feel like I talk about this plant a lot, or at least I do on Instagram, because I absolutely love it. I have always loved the mint coin ever since I first saw one, and I've really been searching for one, but it's been so hard to find. So finding one in person where I don't have to worry about shipping, where it is basically like, this is not a cutting anymore. This is 2 fully rooted plants that are actively growing and have been growing since I bought it. It's just, it just melts my heart. It truly does. And the thing that makes this sort of different from some of the other Lacunosas is the leaf shape, I believe, as well as kind of the way the silver presents itself. So it's got a little bit of a rounder shape, almost like a coin, and then it does have little flecks of dark green in between the light green silvery splash areas. So it's a bit more unique, I would say. There are a lot of Lacunosa out there that look similar or exactly the same, especially the silvery ones. And I've kind of, though I do really like collecting all of the Lacunosa I can, there are some that I'm like, what is the point of that one? Because it just looks the same. But this one I think looks different enough that it justifies a space in my collection personally. And I really love it. I really do. I am hoping to maybe soon, because I just got those trellises from Propagation Diaries. I'm actually thinking I might repot this, put it on a trellis, or at least take the stake out and put it on a trellis. And that way it can kind of live up to its full potential and be a very happy and healthy Hoya. It seems to be super happy in this chunky mix. I can see roots coming out through the sides here. So I don't think, yeah, there's nothing on the bottom. So I don't think I'm gonna need to repot this for a long time. Maybe in the spring, I'll be able to reevaluate and see how much it's grown. But for now, it's gonna be really happy in this pot for a while, and that makes me happy too. So the last plant for my 5 favorite plants for the month of November is an Antherium, obviously, because I think these days I might be becoming more of an Antherium person than a Hoya person. I know that is kind of weird to say because I love Hoyas and I have mostly Hoyas in my collection, but there's just something about Antheriums that are absolutely gorgeous. Even though I do not have the right humidity for them, I still love them, imperfections and all. And this is kind of the epitome of that. So this is my Mag Pap hybrid. Oh my gosh, so pretty. This one's probably gonna be the thumbnail, honestly, because he's absolutely gorgeous. Even though he's got some damage on the new leaf, I love him. He did recently lose 2 of the older leaves, which I find happens when an Antherium is pushing out a new leaf and I forget to water it, it will just drop older leaves. So I'm trying to especially be better about watering these guys. I did also, after he started putting out this leaf, I repotted him to this taller cup and I think he likes it. Yeah, we've got some new roots going on right there. That's brand new. So I think he's getting used to it. He's adjusting. Both of these leaves at this point were grown in my care. I have lost all of the old original leaves that he came with, but I don't mind because he's so cute. And I do not have an Antherium like this in my entire collection, which also makes it a bit better. My husband tells me that some of my Antheriums kind of start to look the same, which I get because I have a lot of Dock Block hybrids and I have a lot of Crystallinum hybrids, but this Mag Pap hybrid is something else. It is absolutely gorgeous. I'm really thinking it's gonna continue to look like a pap in sort of the leaf shape, but it might get even bigger with the Magnificum cross. So I don't know, we'll see. I really like it. The leaf does not come in green like this. So it kind of comes in, I wanna say at first it's like a crimson color, and then it kind of turns yellowish, almost like a yellowish green. And then that yellowish green hardens off to this dark green. So it's very interesting that it goes through more of a dramatic color shift than many of my other Antherium, but I like it. I really like it. I think it's a great plant. I would totally be down to own more Pap hybrids in the future if I can find them. They are not the easiest for me to find. Same with the Ace of Spade hybrids. I just got one actually, which I will probably put on next month's 5 favorite plants because I'm loving it a lot lately, but I just got it. So I was like, I can't put it on here right now. So I went with this one instead. But they're usually more expensive and they're usually harder to find. So that's why I only have 1 Pap hybrid and 1 Ace of Spades hybrid, but they're starting to trickle out into the market a little bit more. So I'm feeling good about them. I still don't really trust myself to get an Antherium shipped to me. So all the Antherium that I have bought in person. But I feel very spoiled here that we have some great nurseries that actually breed their own anthuriums here in Central Texas. So I don't really feel the need to go out and buy an anthurium online, if that makes sense. But enough rambling about this plant. I'll let y'all look at it up close one more time because it is super cute. And that is gonna be it for our 5 favorite plants. All right, I've got both of my babies here because Luna decided to come into the room as well. And I feel like I haven't shown y'all Luna in a while. So here's my old gal. But that is going to be it for our 5 favorite plants for the month of November. If you like this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up down below and subscribe so you don't miss anything from me and the kitties here on the channel. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.